343 is already looking to make changes to Halo Infinite's Battle Pass, and Phil Spencer is the hero we need when it comes to backwards compatibility. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. You enjoyed daily Xbox content, consider hitting that subscribe button. So we got the surprise release of Halo Infinite's multiplayer on the 20th anniversary of Xbox. They're calling it a multiplayer beta between now and the official release date of December 8th, but you get access to everything. Everything that you're going to get on December 8th is available right now for Halo Infinite. And the game is amazing. Like they've done a great job with the gameplay, the maps, the weapon balancing, all that kind of stuff. It really is well done. Obviously, there's still changes that are going to continuously be made throughout this game. It isn't 100% perfect, but it is an extremely solid foundation. One of the biggest issues right now that people are having with Halo Infinite is the actual battle pass progression, which is extremely grindy and takes a long time to get just up one level. I've played about 11 hours, I want to say, and I'm at level 5. So I think if you would take that translation to any other game with a similar style of progression system, you'd probably be way past level 5 after 11 hours of gameplay. But with all that being said, my overall thoughts on the battle pass is that I do think it's slow. I do think there should be more XP granted for the types of things that you do within game and just kind of playing the objective and making sure that you're playing the game properly so that you're not just out there trying to do these weird challenges that are hard to get but then take you away from actually playing the objective, and which will ruin the overall fun of the multiplayer matches. On the other side of things, we've had Halo for so many years and we didn't have these battle pass style of progression systems, and if they took away the battle pass in general and literally just went red versus blue, I would still think Halo Infinite's multiplayer is a ton of fun. I'm not somebody who needs that constant unlocking of cosmetics and XP, but that's just me. I'm more old school. I know right now in today's day and age for business, you need stuff like this in order to continue to bring people back to the game. So the community has been voicing their opinion. 343 I think does a great job at their community management and just listening to feedback and being transparent on what is going on, and they've already started to make some changes to that battle pack. So John Yunsek, who is the community manager at 343, had this to say on Twitter: to address the feedback on battle pass progression, we will be making targeted tunings to our model later this week. To start, we'll be adding play one game challenges to help make sure you consistently progress through the battle pass by playing matches the way you want. Now, there is like the daily challenges, and a lot of them are like play one game or play 2 games or whatever, but I guess they're going to make that more consistent. Continues on here saying we'll also be fixing bugs with and removing some weekly challenges based on your feedback. These tunings to challenge difficulty will help you progress through weekly challenges faster and thus directly speed up your progress through the battle pass. When we make this update, we'll need to reset your challenges, including your progress towards weekly ones. So that's kind of a sad thing to see. All the stuff that you've been working on is going to be going away. And then they go on to say, to make up for this reset, we'll be granting this week's ultimate reward, a single Mark 7 visor to everyone who logs in from November 23rd to November 30th. Additionally, we'll be doubling the duration of double XP boosts to now last 1 hour as opposed to 30 minutes. I think that's a good thing. We hope this helps people get the most out of them, especially during those longer big team battle sessions. We'll be watching these changes closely to make sure they have the positive impact we all want on your progression. This is only our first step. We are committed to continue evolving these systems, but it will take time. Thanks you for joining the beta and keep the feedback coming. So I think this is a good start. I think people need to keep in mind is you need to have patience with Halo Infinite. The game is really good, but it's just the beginning. This is going to be a game that gets constantly updated to improve it. And maybe sometimes the updates won't improve it, but they'll go back and make changes to continuously do their best to try to bring the game to an almost perfect state. So this is the very beginning. It's still the beta officially, I guess, and the game hasn't actually fully come out yet. So patience is needed. I think these initial updates are going to make progression just that much faster. But at the end of the day, I think what people really want to see is literally just XP per game based on how you play, how you're playing the objective, how many kills you're getting, all that kind of stuff. I kind of would like to see that as I'm playing through this battle pass and going through and seeing how much cool armor there is at the very end of it and how long and how much of a grind it'll take to get. But I'm going to be patient because the actual core gameplay is just that much fun. Okay, jumping over here to backwards compatibility and Xbox. So we got a bunch of backwards compatible games announced, 70 at the Xbox 20th anniversary event, plus we got more FPS boost added to like 36 games. But with those announcements, there was also the announcement that the backwards compatibility program was ending, and a big reason for this were the legal fees, the licensing, all that kind of stuff that goes into trying to get these older games back onto the current generation consoles. And when they first announced the backwards compatibility program, I was so curious of how long it was going to last because of this kind of stuff. So I'm not really surprised about this announcement. I think Xbox has done the best job out of, I guess you say, the big three of allowing players to experience games from all generations, or at least some of the catalogs. So going forward, the question is, now since the program is over, how are we going to get the backwards compatibility, and what steps does the industry have to take in order to allow people to play these generations of games? Well, Phil Spencer, as we know, is all about making sure people can continue to play those legacy games, keeping them alive and preserving them. In a recent interview with Axios, he talked about wanting to get legal emulation on the modern hardware so we can play more of these games, saying, "My hope, and I think I have to present it that way as of now, is that as an industry, we'd work on legal emulation that allowed modern hardware to run any within reason older executable, allowing someone to play any game." Now, this is something Xbox has already been working on. I mean, again, with the backwards compatibility program, but I guess when you take away the legal part of the emulation, you can get into the developer mode of your Xbox Series consoles and install emulators like RetroArch and play literally games from all consoles across all generations. And Xbox is definitely the most friendly when it comes to allowing us to experience these legacy games. You look at a company like Nintendo, how stingy they are with their IPs, literally suing small creators and just suing people who do anything with their IPs, emulate them, mod them, or anything like that. And all this crazy stuff with Nintendo. They are the most stingy when it comes to that. And hey, it's their IP, so I guess it's their right. So I think as an industry, Phil Spencer is right. They really got to work together to try to make some sort of legal emulation, whether that is similar to what like the Nintendo Wii had back in the day with the virtual console, where you could buy older Nintendo games a la carte, where it was like super cheap just to pick up an old Zelda game, an old Super Mario game. And I think that could be a good way going forward, where they're going to be making their money. They're not going to be charging exorbitant amounts for these older legacy games, and the consumer will be able to experience them. Because now we're in a point where games from 2-3 generations ago are still very enjoyable to play, and some people want to play them. Some people want to see where some of their favorite franchises started. I hope this gets done. I hope Phil Spencer can push this along. He says right now it's a hope. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, this is going to take everybody on board to make sure that we have preservation of all these older games. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about the updates to Halo Infinite's Battle Pass and Phil Spencer's want and hope to get legal emulation. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you saw throughout this video, I really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Help this channel grow, help grow this community, so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.